Sound check 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Alrighty. I think we got one person walking in, Addie, or are we good? Alright, we'll give that just a second. Okay. Just to give you guys a rundown, we'll hear from Chief Lenhart first, and then we'll hear from Chief Tanner. After that, we'll take any questions you might have for either of them, so either of them can step up and answer any questions you might have. And then at some point, once either questions dwindle or we've been here a few hours, I'll let you know and we'll wrap up and head on our way. But if you have any other contextual questions after the fact, please feel free to reach out to me or send me any follow-up questions and we'll get you what we can. So let that one person come in, give them about a minute, and then we'll get going.
Thank you.
Any progress?
All day. Yeah.
So good morning, everyone. Chief Lenhart with the Horry County Police Department here today to give you an update on our Watson Avenue call from over the weekend. As you're aware, this was a shooting incident from a private chartered boat party. We received the information initially as a injury call that started this incident. As it worked through, it was a private charter with approximately 124 people on board. That was roughly 120 passengers and 4 crew members. We ended up with a total of 11 injuries there. 3 are still hospitalized. 8 have been released, treated and released. We're continuing the investigation at this time. We are looking for any type of information that the community may have, whether you have tips, videos, anything that you may have that you would like to get to us to help us with this. This is a partnership with us in our community. I always say if you see something, say something. So we have behind us as well the tip line, 915-8477. If you have any type of information in regards to this case, we'd love to hear from you and get that information as well. And again, to reiterate, this type of violence will not be tolerated in Horry County. We are going to do our very best to investigate this case and bring criminal charges against these folks that have caused this incident here in our county. With that, pass off to Tim.
Good morning. I'm Joey Tanner. I'm the Horry County Fire Chief. As Chief Lenhart said, we had this call at Watson Avenue. We received an initial call of a head injury. I think someone got hit by a speaker that fell, and our units were responding to that call, to a head injury. Arriving on scene, we were met with gunshot victims. From that point on, at that point, we transported 11 people to the hospital. Two or three went in the personal cars. 8 went in the ambulances as transported to the hospital. No issues with our transports. No issues with anything. The police department did a good job keeping the scene under control for us as well too. Getting access back and forth to the hospitals as we did that during that time there. So no delays in transports as could help our people. So any questions?
So are there any suspects at this time?
Again, it's an ongoing investigation. We're working through multiple videos and information that we have. It's an active investigation. So right now I don't have any suspect information to release, but we are still working the case.
So what weapon did the shooter use, or what do you guys believe was used?
Right. I don't want to give out specifics, but it was a firearm used. I don't want to give out specifics yet because it is part of the case.
Just to confirm, Chief, there is no one in custody for this crime?
Currently, no, sir. And this was, again, an isolated incident on the boat. No further risk to the community as far as the incident of that, but we are investigating the case.
Are you aware of some of the chatter that's out there about someone maybe that had been perched up on like one of the bridges or something and fired shots down into the boat?
No, I have not heard that, and I will tell you that's not accurate information at this point. I don't have the specifics as far as that's concerned. I know an incident occurred on the boat, and then once they were back at the dock, and then the incident happened off the boat as far as the actual shooting. It was a private party on the boat. I don't want to assume, but it was a private chartered party. Currently, our information is just one, but again, we're still investigating. To the best of our knowledge right now, there was someone that was involved on the boat with the party. I don't have an official round count yet. I would assume, again, I don't have that round. We're still investigating that. I don't have that information this time.
What were the ages of people on the boat? Was it like, was it older people? Was it like 1-year-olds? Like.
I think the ages vary from the folks we're still reaching out and speaking to. It's been a varying age group. I do not have that information.
Do you know if these people were local or if they were from out of town?
So currently in our investigation, a lot of the participants that were on the boat were from out of town, which is making it somewhat difficult to track all those folks down. There were some local folks there as well, so it was kind of a mixture, but the majority were out of town. I don't have that number at this moment. It's still an active, ongoing. Yes, sir, multiple. Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask a little more about the nature of the injuries of those that were involved. What did that range look like?
Just single gunshot wounds.
So all of them were at least shot one time.
Yes.
Any particular area of the body?
I think they're just in general. I think most of them were lower extremities, maybe. I think most of them were in that area.
Currently, our investigation doesn't indicate any of that. No. Yes. Yes, sir. I don't have the official response time with me. I do know we received the very first call about the initial injury at around, it was dispatched at around 9:15 p.m. And then I have, let's see, then we did get a dispatch update at about 9:17 of actually folks being shot.
Talk about jurisdiction for a second here. Is the reason why your department is handling this because the shooting actually happened on land and not out on the water?
Yes, sir, that is correct. The shooting happened back at the dock, so it would fall at our jurisdiction. Yes,
If it had happened on the water, would that be like a DNR thing?
it would be primarily a DNR Coast Guard incident that we would obviously assist if need be. I don't have that specific information. I do know this was a chartered party that they had advertised. I think you could buy tickets too, but I don't have that specific information. So this incident occurred again during the weekend when we were already up-staffed. So we had multiple officers respond. I don't have the exact count, and multiple detectives. We were fortunate we up-staffed during this holiday weekend, so we had them on scene relatively quickly. So it was a large contingent of law enforcement as well as detectives. North Myrtle Beach did assist us with providing some assets or getting some assets there. Outside of that, it was us and Horry County Fire, as well as SLED. SLED did have some officers respond as well. To the best of my knowledge, he was responding to give assistance via a boat to check the waterway area. I'm not aware of that information. You'd have to reach out to North Myrtle Beach for that, or SLED.
Can you explain how these people being from out of town is impacting the investigation?
I would say, we are a heavy tourism, that's what our county is. So we see a lot of, folks coming into our area. So with them being out of town, it does make it a little difficult to track these folks down. But then, we're going through as much information as we have to be able to locate these folks, to speak to them and interview them.
As far as the folks that you're able to talk to, are they being cooperative?
Yes, sir. So far, yes, sir. It's at the very end of Watson Avenue where some commercial boats are stored. They're docked, I guess is better.
And I know that it's still part of the investigation, but is there any indication of a motive?
None that we've identified yet, sir.
Any questions for Chief Floyd?
I have one, just for editorial purposes. When you have a situation like this where there are a number of student victims, is it standard for those victims to go to like a level 1 trauma hospital? This would be Grandstand Medical Center?
Yes.
Can you explain that process? Why
Yes.
you event it?
As they begin, because at a level 1 trauma center, you don't know the extent of the injury. It's a gunshot wound, traumatic to the person, so we send them to level 1 trauma center. The only caveat to that is if they're overrun, then we'll take them to the next closest facility to stabilize the patient before they get to the level 1 trauma center. So that's what we did that night.
Okay. So where's the nearest one? If Grandstand is full or occupied, where's the nearest one?
We'll go to Seacoast and then South Strand. Our number 1 transports were the Grand Strand, level 1 trauma center, and then we had personal cars. Some took the Grand Strand, a couple went to Seacoast, I think.
Chief, actually, one more for you. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
sir. No problem.
As far as the injuries are concerned, are they all considered to be non-life-threatening injuries?
Yes, sir. All the victims, again, non-life-threatening. We only have 3 that are still hospitalized or just needing extra care as far as getting better. So we do know, but I don't want to release that information because it is part of the active investigation. But we do have that information, and items were recovered. But I don't. Again, that's part of the investigation, so we don't release that at this time.
For folks who might be watching this who are not from here and have seen this, and obviously it's a negative shot on Horry County, what do you say to those folks?
I would say, again, Horry County, we are fortunate to have a wonderful police department, a wonderful community. These incidents, can occur anywhere, but we are very fortunate to have a great community, great law enforcement to dig into these cases when they do occur and hold those accountable that do these acts. So I would again say that Horry County is a safe place to come, vacation, enjoy yourself, live here, and we're going to continue that level of accountability.
Not looking into this, I had a question about this responsibility position.
Okay.
I know the last press conference you mentioned that there were 2 people that you were looking at either looking into, or are you looking to talk about recommending? I just need to get any updates on that.
So I can give you a little bit of an update. Again, it's just still part of the investigation, both internally and by SLED on the misconduct portion of that. I can't give any as far as updates of where we are with that because it is still ongoing, but we are still looking into it. And I would just like to say in closing, no other questions, please, for our community members, again, if you have any information on this case, to report it to our 915 tips, and that tip line's, again, behind me on the screen, and we just appreciate all the cooperation with the community. So as you can imagine, it was over 120 people that were on the boat. So when any typical case that we see like this, when shots start to ring out like that, folks do try to flee and get away, which is a good thing to do when folks are shooting. So yes, a lot of folks did leave the scene relatively quickly.
Chief, are you labeling this as a mass shooting?
Yes, so I mean, it is a mass shooting incident because we do have so many injured.